Well, this is the last week of Kirby month. And to finish it out, we don't really have the strongest, most memorable, or even most enjoyable Kirby game ever. Instead, we have Kirby's Pinball Land on the Game Boy. It's not a bad game. It's probably about as good as it gets for a pinball game on the Game Boy. But it's still a pinball game on the original Game Boy. This game is just about as light on story as they come. This intro is all we really have. Dedede has built a pinball course and decides to taunt Kirby into it. He doesn't even seem to have stolen anything, he's just being a dick. In order to take down this newest prank, I guess, Kirby has to defeat the three bosses that are standing between them and Dedede: Wispy Woods, Kracko, and the Poppy Bros. Yeah, that's a bit of a weird one. Wispy and Kracko were both bosses in Dreamland and Adventure, but the Poppy Bros have never really been full boss material. In every appearance, they've been relegated to being a sub-boss, other than this one. Once all three bosses have been defeated, Kirby tracks Dedede down to his own table, which takes place in a boxing ring very similar to his fights in Dreamland, Spring Breeze, and Revenge of the King. Upon his defeat here, Dedede escapes when Kirby is trampled by all the enemies faced in the game. This game is short and sweet. Not much story, only takes probably an hour or two to beat, even if you're as bad at pinball as I am. Looking at the timeline, it's kind of a weird game to place. It has elements of Dreamland, most notably that Dedede fight, but the enemies are clearly based on adventure, most notably including Mr. Shine and Mr. Bright. But none of the other bosses exclusive to that title. Since it seems to take equal cues from Dreamland 1 and Adventure, I'm going to place it between those two games. If you really want to push for that time frame, the fact that Meta Knight can be seen only after beating Dedede could imply that he only came to the picture after the events of the game, but that feels a little reachy to me. I don't feel strongly about that placement though. It could just as easily go after Adventure and I wouldn't bat an eye. What do you think about this placement? How about the rest of the timeline you've seen so far? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Since this is the last Deepest Lore episode of Kirby Month, it'll unfortunately be some time before we return to the series. I don't have plans to cover the next Kirby game up until October, and that's assuming I can keep up with weekly uploads for that long. That said, this isn't the very last Kirby video before then. Despite the month being almost over, we still have yet to hit the actual anniversary. So come back on that day for a special video about classic Kirby characters. As for Deepest Lore, next week we return to the ever-deepening Sonic hole that I just can't seem to be rid of on this channel, as we take a trip back into the Archie comic series. Until next time.